And welcome back to Love Your Food. This week we have a super simple and delicious recipe, these amazing flax crackers. These are actually inspired by Chef John over on Food Wishes. And before we get started, I'd like to remind everyone, we have an affiliate link with Chef's Temp if you need a kitchen thermometer or meat probe. Check out the link in the description below, and you can get 15% off your order by using code LOVEYOURFOOD on checkout. But first, let's get going with our ingredients. So we have flax seeds, some water, and some seasoning. We've got some onion powder and a hot chili pod, just a dried chili pepper here, and some salt. It's super simple. There's almost nothing to this recipe at all. So we're gonna burr mix we're gonna spice grind the spices here. If your onion powder is as clumpy as ours is, you might want to do this for sure, and certainly you want to do it to the pepper. So into our container here, we're going to add the salt and the water just to make sure that salt gets completely dissolved and equally spread through our mixture here. And then we're going to add in our flax seeds and our seasoning. Now the seasoning might clump up a little bit. We made ours quite spicy actually. Just adding the one that's a dried Thai bird's eye chili that we dried ourselves. It made it really nice and spicy and had quite a nice bite to it. And once it's all combined like this, that's all you got to do. We're going to put that in the fridge and let that sit overnight. You can do it for a few hours and it'll be fine, but it works best if you do it overnight. And you'll see here, we didn't do anything else to it. It's already this interesting sort of paste consistency. So what we're going to do is we're going to spread this out on a silpat. You can also use parchment for this. Don't use wax paper because we're going to be baking this, of course. And you can see it's quite sticky. It's all stuck together here. So what we're going to do now is spread this out to about 1/8 of an inch thick. You want it to be a fairly consistent thickness all the way through. And it's not as hard as it seems like it should be because, honestly, it's very sticky. It sticks to itself very, very well. So once you've got it decently even all the way through, you can straighten out the edges. You can, do it however you like. But once you've got it to the thickness you want, that's going to go into the oven. Now, one thing that Chef John did on his video was he marked it for breaking up before he put it in the oven, and then after an hour he took it out and noticed that his marks had all disappeared. So we just skipped that. And we're just going to do the first hour in the oven, take it out, and now we're going to put in our marks. So you can see here, this is after the first hour in the oven. Now we're going to mark things. It's still pretty soft. It's not baked yet. It's not crispy. And so we just marked off some squares here, and we're going to put that back in the oven and let that cook for the remaining 2 hours. So it's 3 hours total. That's going to go back in the oven, and that's going to go for the remaining 2 hours. And then we're going to take that out, and it looks something like this. Now you can see it's shrunk a little bit. It has tightened up. It's a little bit browner. It's hard to tell because flax seeds are already brown. And we did do the fork don't lie test, and they are very, very crispy. But just as Chef John did, we are going to let these cool in the oven that we've just turned off with the door open a little bit, just to make sure we get all of the remaining moisture out of these, to make sure that they are the crispiest they possibly can be. So once they are fully cool, they're down to room temperature. You see how easily they come apart. They just snap along those lines very, very easily. And they're very, very crispy. Honestly, they're really, really crispy. Some little bits of that little, basically mucilage that is baked. And we used this with a cheese board, and it was delicious. They definitely do have a flavor. They are not perfectly neutral. As I said, we did make ours a little bit spicy. But flax seeds do have a flavor, and it's delicious. Honestly, they're really, really fantastic. And that's it. So, so simple. You do need to start them the day before and let them soak overnight. The baking time is quite long, but it's really, really simple, really, really quick, and we hope you'll give this one a try. If you like this recipe, please do like and subscribe. And if you have any recipes you'd like to see Chef Caleb try on the channel, please let us know in the comments below. We'd like to thank our patrons over on Patreon. If you'd like to help us support the channel that way, I'll put a link for that in the description below as well. And remember to love your food.